Hello and welcome to Quays News. I'm Ruby Wetherill.
And I'm Daisy Back. Here's what's coming up on the programme today.
I need the indoor market back there as much as, well, we all need each other. And with them being closed there, I may as well not be here.
Bury Market is set to close, but how will this impact the local area? And Storm Ciarán is on the way for Greater Manchester, and we'll have all the details. Although winning the 2023 Market of the Year and being an iconic northern location, Bury Market is being forced to close its famous indoor market. Our reporter Leo Christian went to find out more.
It won the award for the 2023 Market of the Year Awards, but now, just 10 months later, it's closing the doors on its indoor market for the foreseeable future. Bury Market has been a family favourite since it opened its doors in 1971, but now 49 of its indoor stores have had to close down due to concerns over the RAAC in Bury Market's rooftops. RAAC is a type of concrete used throughout the 1950s and 1960s and becomes very dangerous when exposed to water. The Bury Market is in the heart of the community, and some of the people I've been speaking to today have had stores for 30, 40 years. However, they were told just the day before that the Bury Market would be closing down, right before the Christmas rush. So I found out how that's been affecting the people.
It affects the staff from the council and also the traders themselves and the customers.
It's a shame for stallholders inside, because I mean they're going to be relocated all over the place. There's plenty of empty shops for them to go into. But whether it suits them or not, I don't know.
However, none seem more affected than Tim.
I need the indoor market back there as much as, well, we all need each other. And with them being closed there, I may as well not be here. We've heard nothing off them. They promised us everything at a meeting last Friday, and we've heard nothing. There's no communication at all between any of them. Yeah, the amount of people that have been coming in, people rely on it. It's up to the community. People come here all the time, you know, even if for chat and what have you, but they're just devastated they can't do it.
So, Tim, can you tell us what's going on here?
Normally these shutters, they're up, and that's a big open gap into the indoor market, and obviously, look at it, it's ugly. It impacts my business. We're just looking like that, it's just horrible. I've done the best I can against that wall to make it look a bit better, but it's not what it should be. It should be leading on to the indoor market.
And how much business do you think that's affected you?
Oh, I'd say 70–75% at the moment. It's hard for us all. It really is. And I've never known anything like it. And as much as help goes, we're getting nothing at the moment.
With no news of when the market will be reopening, the people of Bury can do nothing but wait and hope. Leo Christian, Quays News, Bury.
And Leo joins us in the studio now. Leo, can you tell us, is it just the indoor markets?
Thankfully, yes, it is just the indoor markets that are closed, as the outside and the meat and fish stores are still open, which means the Bury Market is still making money, still lots of tourists coming to the market and experiencing the beautiful market, and thankfully, yes, it's just the indoor market that's closed. That's good
to hear. We know about RAAC and that it has been affecting a lot of businesses, and it's obviously creating a huge impact, but this is just another example of that, isn't it?
Yes, so RAAC is a type of light, bubbly concrete that was used between the 1950s and the 1990s. It's often used in roofs and ceilings, but it's also sometimes in the floors and the walls as well. However, RAAC is a serious problem, as there are 214 cases of RAAC being discovered dangerously in schools, where schools have had to shut down, they've had to move to online learning, and even in extreme circumstances they've had to move to different sites and locations, which means RAAC isn't just affecting markets and shops, it's also affecting children's education.
That's interesting, because we know that the council, as you say, they've not done anything about it. So That's quite a large thing for them to be ignoring. The people that you were speaking to, what did they have to say about that? They must be very disappointed.
Yes, definitely. I've been spending all week in Bury speaking to the people, finding out what they want to say and listening to their stories, and the general consensus seems to be that the Bury Council isn't doing enough. They found out, as I mentioned in my package, that the indoor market would be closing the night before it did actually close as well, and haven't heard a single thing since, meaning that the council aren't doing enough to support the Bury people through this tough time. As I mentioned in my package, one guy I interviewed is losing up to 75% of his normal revenue with the indoor market being closed. So it seems to be that the council really need to communicate better to the people.
Thank you for that, Leo. It was really interesting to hear about that, and hopefully the council can take a look and show that they care about the issue. Yes,
most definitely. Bury is a great community. Everyone that I spoke to is full of life and always wanted to talk to me and express how good the market is to the people. So it's definitely crucial that the market gets back up in running order and get the people back in.
Thank you very much, Leo. Thanks for your time.
Wow, that is a massive issue affecting the local people. And now, usually bonfire night goes out with a bang and the fireworks light across the skies across Greater Manchester, but the rising cost of living crisis has extinguished most of that. Our reporter, Rhiannon Healy-Provost, has more.
Thank you, guys. Manchester Council has recently announced the cancellation of many annual firework displays for bonfire night. Major events including Heaton Park and Wythenshawe Park are among those cancelled for the second year running. This comes as rising costs puts pressure on many councils across the UK. Manchester Council's decision is expected to leave many families disappointed. However, here in Salford, 3 firework displays will be held at Buell Hill Park on Saturday the 4th of November. So fear not, Mancunians, for the skies will be lit this Guy Fawkes weekend. Rhiannon Healy-Provost, Quays News, Salford.
That was Rhiannon Healy-Provost reporting for us earlier. Now, mental health services across Greater Manchester are coming under sustained pressure due to a £90 million shortfall in investment, a watchdog has found.
The City Care Board, which reviews how NHS cash is spent, said mental health services had levels of investment below the normal national average.
And there was not one day when COVID rules were followed in number 10. This is according to a top civil servant.
The COVID inquiry continues this week and we'll be following it as it happens. To keep updated, make sure to go to our socials, Quays News, for all the latest.
This is the impact from Storm Ciarán in Scotland, and the worst of it is far from over. Heavy rain and strong winds are set to hit Greater Manchester in the coming days, as some parts of Cheshire and the northwest will be affected. Danger to life warnings have been issued further south of the country.
Max Hayes joins us in the studio. Max, can you tell us what can we expect?
Well, the Met Office has issued amber weather warnings for most the south of the UK, which obviously disrupts, of course, so many. They've already declared a major incident in Hampshire and the Isle of Wight, which obviously is shocking. It's disrupting the locals. There's risk to life warnings, but of course, how does it affect us here in Manchester? Well, not that much. Manchester is actually one of the only areas in the country that isn't experiencing this storm. However, they still have issued a few little warnings kind of around Manchester. Downpours set to start tonight and into the early hours of this morning with some gusty winds. The Met Office saying that the UK has recorded the 6th joint highest ever wettest October record. That's pretty rare, so it's been quite a wet October so far.
Definitely.
Yeah, but it's not going to be as bad as recent weeks with Storm Babette, is it?
No, it isn't, thank God. Storm Babette was something that we've never seen before and of course caused many fatalities, which was very sad indeed. But here in Manchester and the wider country, it's actually looking like we should be kind of over this in the next few days, so fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Now, Andrew Allen Matthews is a Mancunian artist who's hosting a silent auction in order to raise money for Real Change Manchester.
His current exhibition is displayed in Salford Museum and Art Gallery. Sophie Pease reports.
Andrew Allen Matthews is a proud Mancunian artist producing affordable original artworks of Manchester, Salford, London and beyond. His brand promotes positivity based on his own personal experience of stress in life and how he has learnt to overcome this by producing and selling his artwork. Andrew's work is exhibited here at Salford Museum and Art Gallery, and I'm here today to talk to him about his artwork and what it means to him.
My dad took me to this gallery when I was about 5 or 6 years old, and I was kind of like, there was a painting upstairs called Famine, and I was mesmerised by the painting. He was like, imagine me, a little boy of 5 or 6, looking at this painting about a huge skeleton figure shrouded with wolves surrounding him in a winter scene. And it's kind of open where he was like, wow, look at that painting, and that was where my inspiration came from.
At the exhibition, he has donated the Lower Turk's Head painting to raise funds for Real Change Manchester. They are a charity which helps people experiencing homelessness in Manchester pay for practical items they need to build lives away from the streets.
The whole point of Real Change is that people have got an alternative way of giving to something that's sort of bigger than just their individual change will be able to do. So we then pull all their resources and donations, and then people can apply through one of the, we sort of partner with over 20 charities around Manchester, and they can apply for funds, and the funds cover a really wide range of things to start a new life away from the streets, which is obviously incredibly worthwhile. All his pictures are so personal to Manchester as well. I like that community element of it. It feels like a Manchester thing to do, and that's the way Manchester works, isn't it? That's the cool thing about the place.
Andrew holds a close connection to Real Change Manchester after interactions he has had with the homeless, which showed him their reality.
Thinking that my day was a stressful day, but not half as bad as somebody who's on the street like that, and just trying to highlight how bad it is on the streets for the homeless, and hopefully donated this painting to Real Change Manchester and try as a silent auction, and trying to get people to place a bid.
The exhibition will run until Sunday the 11th of February 2024 and will be open to go and visit on weekends and school holidays. So head down and check this amazing work out for yourself. Sophie Pease, Quays News.
And finally, Stoke-on-Trent may be home to a rich pottery heritage and Robbie Williams, but it's also the home of the world's heaviest runner bean. Darcy Jackson went to take a look at Stoke's gardening community.
He's the Usain Bolt of runner beans. Derek Hume has broken the Guinness World Record for the heaviest runner bean. The Stoke-on-Trent gardener has been sharing his love of growing giant vegetables at Proctor's Nurseries in Endon.
The last bean as I came to was not as long, but was fatter. It was much fatter and was full of beans. After weighing it, realised it was 20 grams heavier than the world record, so I thought, why not? Why not take it?
Although Derek has won the Guinness World Record for the heaviest runner bean, they're not the only giant vegetables that he's been growing. This is where he grew the giant pumpkin, and this year marks the first time Proctor's Nurseries have had a pumpkin patch open to the public.
It's important for Stoke because it's like Stoke gets a lot of kickings for different things. You know, people say Stoke isn't sort of that nice a place, but you know, we've got a lot to offer, a lot of heritage, and you can see today everyone's enjoying themselves, the sun's shining, and what could be nicer?
Elsewhere in Stoke, Dolly's Lane allotments, situated right next to the historical Port Vale Football Club, have been sharing their community spirit for gardening.
We just don't have enough opportunities, I think, as a city to really get together and talk to one another properly and build that community spirit that's so integral to making the place better.
The allotment hosted their Pumpkin Fest, which included several competitions including Best Carved Pumpkin and Heaviest Pumpkin, along with food and drink for those both young and old to get involved.
It's the community feel, as well as, you know, you gain growing the produce, you know where it's come from, it's got no air miles or anything, but it's the community, seeing other people, days like today when we've got events on, everybody helps one another. If you've got a problem, somebody will help you sort it out.
They were also recently awarded one of the most prestigious awards from the Royal Horticultural Society.
And this is the Royal Horticultural Society's Heart of England in Bloom certificate, level 5. Awarded to Dolly's Lane allotment for all the fantastic work that you do.
Stoke-on-Trent's gardening community still lies very much underground, just like the vegetables. Darcy Jackson, Quays News, Stoke-on-Trent.
God, that's really impressive. I've never seen a runner bean so big in my life.
Well, it doesn't beat my favourite thing from Stoke, and that is definitely Robbie Williams, every mum's favourite person as well. And that's all we've got time for today.
Don't forget to keep up with our socials throughout the week for more on the latest stories.
Thank you for keeping us company this afternoon.
Have a good week.